Most people believe that power lies in being louder, wealthier, or more charming. They think the secret to influence is in speaking quickly, dressing stylishly, or being pleasant to everyone. But this is a misconception. The truth is that the most influential people do not chase anyone. They do not beg for respect. They create such a strong aura that those around them instinctively align with them. They do not compete. They attract. And they attract not only people. They draw situations, events, and even enemies to their side. This video will show you how to do this. We are talking about profound psychological appeal that makes you impossible to ignore. In the enlightening worldview of Niccolò Machiavelli, we will explore how to radiate superiority without uttering a single word, how to build such confidence that captivates those around you, how to use silence and mystery as weapons, how to make people crave your approval without even realizing it, and how to become a person whose spirit is so strong that others feel weaker in your presence. You do not need more noise, you need more control. By the end of this video, you will no longer chase attention. You will become someone who is watched, someone who is followed, someone who is feared to disappoint. If you are ready to become someone who cannot be ignored, someone who does not speak to prove a point but radiates quiet strength, join us. Subscribe right now. Rate this video and leave a comment. Power speaks without words. Let's see who is truly ready for change. The first step, the dangerous type. No one can resist. Most people try too hard. They chase attention. They beg for sympathy, thinking that if they talk more, do more, show more, they will be respected. But this never works. Because the moment you start chasing, you lose value. Now imagine a person who never chases. A person who does not speak to impress but commands attention. A person who enters a room and needs no proof, because the room adjusts to them. That is power. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote not only about kings and politics, he studied how influence operates in real life, quietly, psychologically. He understood that seduction is not just for romance. It is about making yourself impossible to ignore in business, in social circles, in war. True confidence does not come from fake smiles or loud words. It is not about putting yourself on display. It is about being so calm, so composed, so self-assured, that people begin to doubt their own significance in your presence. If you learn to master this, you will not need to convince anyone. They will follow you not because they understand you, because they cannot resist the pull. This is the first step toward becoming dangerous without loud words. It is the art of becoming unattainable in a Machiavellian way. If you are ready to become a person who does not chase, who attracts others effortlessly, then join in. Appreciate the video if you feel this power, and leave a comment. I do not chase, I attract. Let's see who is ready for this. Continue to pursue, but start attracting to yourself. You have been taught to chase. In school, in relationships, even in business, you were told that you need to prove your worth, to speak loudly, to show your value, to strive for what you desire with intensity. Well, here's the harsh truth. The more you chase, the more you lose power. People do not respect what is easily accessible to them. They are attracted to what eludes them, what does not need them. Machiavelli understood what many overlook. The strongest power is not in the chase, but in presence. The true power lies in having people come to you on their own. Not because you begged them, but because your energy, your focus, your calmness creates gravity. To achieve this, you need to rid yourself of old habits. Stop filling the silence with words. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to fix how others see you. Instead, observe. Stay still. Speak with purpose and rarely. When you stop the chase, the frame changes. Now they are wondering what you are thinking. Now they are trying to earn your time. Now they are adapting to you. At this moment, you become the one who controls. The one they think about when you leave. The one they try to impress themselves, not understanding why. If this has changed something in you, good. You are not here for entertainment, but to manage. Manage how you are seen, even without uttering a word. Let's talk about perception, because in the real world, how you are seen is stronger than who you actually are. People do not react to your intention. They react to the image you create. And here is the brutal truth. If your energy says that you need approval, they feel it. If your words try too hard to impress, they sense it. If you chase connection, they pull away. But if you move as if you are already valuable, as if you do not need them to see your worth, they begin to see it anyway. This is how perception works. You teach people how to perceive you based on what you tolerate, how you behave, and where you spend your energy. If you laugh too easily, explain too much, or overly share your emotions, you lower your value in their eyes. But if you remain balanced, speak less, and observe more. If you maintain eye contact without trying to win their approval, the dynamic changes dramatically. They become curious. They start to pay closer attention to you. They try to be noticed by you. This is what Machiavelli mastered not through charm, but through control. He understood that if you create the right perception, there is no need to beg for power. People willingly give it to you. They trust you. They fear disappointing you. And they believe it is their idea. The goal is not to pretend to be confident. It is to build a presence in which others feel your value, even when you are silent. This is the new standard. This is the art of silent seduction. This is what makes you unattainable. If you are ready to master the art of quiet strength, let us begin this journey into a world of mystery and invincible power that attracts. Most people talk too much. They share their struggles, their past, their opinions, thinking it helps them connect with others. But in reality, it makes them predictable. Predictability is the enemy of power. When people fully understand someone, they stop respecting them. But if they cannot fully decipher a person, they become their obsession. Machiavelli understood this. He knew that the more mystery you have, the more space you occupy in their thoughts. After all, Mystery is not deceit, but selectivity. Strong individuals do not reveal everything. They do not explain every emotion. They do not say what they will do next. Their words are meaningful. Their movements are controlled. They allow others to guess, and in those guesses, people become captivated. Mystery creates tension. It causes emotional imbalance, prompting people to seek answers, approval, and access. If you are tired of being predictable and ready to become the enigma they cannot stop thinking about, write. I do not reveal. I attract. And notice this. If you have ever felt their interest grow when you step back. Control over emotions is the power that silences everyone. Most people are easy to manipulate. Why? Because they react, say something, and they explode. Ignore them, and they seek attention. Push the right buttons, and they fall apart. But a person who can remain calm under pressure, that is who instills fear. Machiavelli understood this deeply. In every room, he sought one thing: who controls their emotions. Because that person controls the outcome. Emotions are signals. They reveal what is important to you. They expose your weaknesses and attachment wounds. And once someone knows what gets under your skin, they can manipulate you. That is why control over emotions is the true dominance. When you maintain calm in chaos, people lose power over you. They try to provoke you, and you do not flinch. They expect drama, and you respond with silence. They want your reactions, but instead, they receive a mirror. This is psychological warfare. For when people cannot read your emotions, they become anxious. They start doubting themselves. They rethink every word they say. They try harder to elicit your reaction, to feel noticed. You flip the dynamic. You do not react to their chaos. They react to your composure. Remember, calmness is not a weakness, it is a strategy. This means you have mastered the battlefield of the mind. When your mind becomes unattainable, no one can use it against you. If you have managed to remain calm while others lost their composure, you already know your strength. If this message resonates with you, share it with those who need to stop giving away their power. 6. The strength of restraint. People believe that strength lies in active actions. More messages, more compliments, more efforts. But in reality, it is the opposite. Strength comes from withholding. When you give away your energy too quickly, people stop valuing it. They begin to take it for granted, expecting more and appreciating less. Machiavelli understood that power grows in conditions of scarcity. When something is rare, it becomes desirable. When something is always available, it is ignored. This applies to your presence, your time, your attention. Most people give away too much. They over-explain, give too much. They stay in conversations that they should have left long ago. But when you start purposefully withholding your energy, everything changes. You stop responding instantly. You do not explain your silence. You do not waste time on people who drain you. Instead, you become the one they think about when you are not around. Your absence begins to speak louder than your presence. Your energy is no longer directed towards them. And this change creates a tension of curiosity and often regret. They wonder why you have distanced yourself, replay old conversations in their minds, and feel a void. And in that space, they realize your value. You did not beg or argue. You simply withdrew your energy and allowed that silence to speak for you. That is how kings behave. That is how influential people remain in demand without always being available. If you have ever distanced yourself and seen someone finally recognize your value, know that you are acting with intention. 7. If you command a room, there are people who enter and everything changes. People turn around, feel something. They do not understand why, but suddenly they become cautious, focused, attentive. That is presence. It is not about being the loudest, the most attractive, the richest, or the most sociable. It is the energy you bring with you before you even speak. Machiavelli knew that true power does not need to announce itself. It arrives quietly, but changes the atmosphere. How to develop such presence? First, calmness. Do not fidget, do not rush, do not seek attention. Those who are truly strong do not fill the air with noise. Their silence is loud enough. Second, eye contact. Maintain it. Not aggressively, but calmly. Do not look around as if you are unsure. Observe as if you already own that room. Third, posture and pace. Stand tall. Move slowly. Breathe deeply. Conduct yourself as if you belong everywhere, and people will begin to believe it. Presence. It is felt. And when your presence is powerful, people unconsciously strive to be near you. They lower their voices, pay attention to their posture, and try to make an impression, even without understanding why. You do not need to say much. You do not need to dominate. It is enough to behave like a person who does not require validation because they have already given it to themselves. In a world full of noise, such calm confidence becomes attractive. If you have ever entered a room and made it quieter without even trying, write about that. My presence speaks first. And if you are ready to amplify that power, go further. To the next level, darker and smarter. The 8th, detachment, the coldest way to break control. When someone tries to control you, they do it not with chains, but with emotions. Feelings of guilt, approval, silence, praise, they give you just enough to keep you hooked. But here's what breaks that cycle. Detachment. Detachment. It is not indifference. It is the ability to care on your own terms, not on someone else's. It is the skill to walk away at any moment, without fear or emotional catastrophe. And that is frightening for most people. You see? Control only works when you are afraid of losing something. When you are afraid, they will leave. When you need their approval to feel whole. When you shift into a state of detachment, the game changes. Suddenly, they begin to feel fear. They sense the rupture. They feel your absence. Did Machiavelli understand this deeply? He knew that the power lies not in clinging, but in the ability to let go first. When someone starts playing emotional games, do not argue. Do not chase after them. Just step back, calmly, silently, completely. Do not announce it. Do not explain. Just let them feel it. Silence haunts. Their retreat creates obsession, because now they are trying to figure it out. They replay everything in their minds. They wonder why you are not reacting, and they realize, perhaps for the first time, that they never had power over you. Detachment does not destroy relationships. It destroys manipulation. And in that space, you rise above the noise. You stop being the one who reacts. You become the one who is pursued. If you have ever gone silent and watched how the power shifts, write about that. I do not cling. I detach. If this has awakened something in you, share it with someone who plays in the realm of manipulation. They will feel it. The ninth, influence without coercion. The art of subtle control. Powerful people rarely give orders. They do not shout. They do not plead. They do not say, do this. Instead, they implant ideas and make you believe that they are your ideas. This is the highest form of influence. This is how Machiavelli moved through the world. There is no need for submission while shaping perceptions. That is the secret. People do not like being controlled, but they love feeling smart. So when you push, they resist. But when you guide, suggest, and present this as their own choice, they will follow you. Here is how it is done. Instead of saying, you must do this, ask, what would happen if we tried it differently? Instead of saying, you are wrong, say, I used to think that way too, but then I saw it differently. Instead of providing answers, ask deeper questions that steer their thoughts. You do not command. You guide like a master chess player, 5 moves ahead. You create such a strong framework that they adapt to it, even without realizing it. You become that calm voice in their head that changes their perceptions of the world. And one day, they will act on your idea, convinced that it is their own thought. This is not manipulation. This is mastery, because control without resistance is the highest form of dominance. And when you stop trying to force people and start shaping their beliefs, you do not just win arguments, you conquer minds. If you ever achieve greatness, do not say, follow me. Instead, lead with suggestions. If you are ready to master the invisible control, subscribe now. The final move is one they never anticipate, and disappear strategically. This last move leaves a mark forever. There is one move stronger than presence, a move that makes them ponder, doubt, and feel shaken. Disappearance is not an emotional breakdown, nor is it a retreat into weakness. It is a calm, strategic exit when they expect it the least. Because the truth is that people remember your silence longer than your words. They feel your absence more deeply than your attention. And when you leave with dignity, not drama, you leave an indelible mark on their consciousness. Machiavelli did not believe in desperate farewells. He believed in disappearing at the height of power, when your value is at its peak, when your presence is felt the strongest. That is when you leave, without explanations. You do not justify yourself. You make them feel that they have lost something. Those who underestimated you will feel desire. Those who tried to control you will feel exposed. Those who needed your energy to feel alive will now feel cold. You have taken away what they cannot reclaim, access to you. Disappearance is not pettiness. It is the conclusion of the game on your terms, because power is not always in the move you make. It is in the move you do not return from. Sometimes the final lesson is taught not through words. It is taught through absence, through space, silence that resonates. This is the final move in Machiavelli's thoughts. Nothing is in place. Disappearance with your strength intact and your secret fully realized. If you have ever left and felt stronger for it, write about it. My silence. Definitively. If this journey has opened your eyes to who you can become, subscribe now. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new version of you. One that no longer chases, but controls.